Welcome to the Online Digital Marketing Podcast. We'll be discussing marketing strategies, trends, and tips that will help your business succeed in the digital age. Every episode, we'll be interviewing industry professionals and providing valuable insights on how to leverage digital tools for maximum engagement and ROI. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the latest trends in online marketing.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really cutting through some of the noise around search engine optimization, SEO. Forget all the talk about, secret hacks or gaming the system. We're going straight to the source material, the documentation, to understand the clear best practices.
That's right. In this deep dive, it's really for you, the listener. We're focusing on how you can help search engines, mostly Google, not just find your stuff, but actually understand it.
Yeah, understand the meaning.
Exactly. And look, the goal isn't some magic trick to get you to number one instantly. Our sources are really clear. There are no guarantees for that top spot.
Right.
Instead, it's about building a solid foundation, improving your presence over the long haul.
Okay, so we're tackling this by focusing on what seems like the two main pillars, the absolute must-knows, content strategy and technical foundation.
The essentials.
Yeah, basically your shortcut to getting up to speed on what actually works today.
So let's start right at the beginning. The absolute basics. How does Google even find pages in the first place? Because if it can't find you, well, nothing else matters, does it?
Sure.
You have to get your head around the fact that Google is this fully automated engine. It uses these little programs, bots, called crawlers.
Right, the spiders.
Yeah, spiders, crawlers, and they're just constantly exploring the web nonstop.
The scale is just immense, hard to imagine. But the key thing I'm hearing is you don't usually need to, submit your site or get an invitation.
Not usually, no. The vast majority of sites, they're found and added automatically. If you put your site online, make it accessible, chances are Google will find it eventually.
Okay, but how? If it's just a bot, how does it know where to go next? After it reads one page, what points it to the next new page out there?
That's the crucial bit. Links. Links are the primary way.
Okay.
Google finds new pages mostly by following links from other pages it's already crawled, pages already a sort of trusts.
So links are like referrals, digital referrals.
Exactly. They're a huge resource for discovery. And get this, the sources say the vast majority of new pages Google finds every single day. It finds them through links.
Wow. So if other established sites link to your content, that gives you a massive boost in getting found quickly.
A huge boost, yeah.
It's
fundamental.
So links aren't just for users clicking around. They're literally the roads the crawlers use.
Precisely.
I did see mentions of sitemaps in the sources, though. If links are so powerful, why even bother with a sitemap?
Good question. Sitemaps, they're basically just files, lists of all the URLs on your site you care about. They're optional, yeah, but they can be really helpful.
Optional, but helpful.
How? Well, maybe not vital for just getting initially discovered if you have good linking,
Okay.
but for really large websites or sites where some content is buried deep and hard to find just by clicking around.
Okay, I see.
Sitemaps become important then. Think of links as the natural road network. The sitemap is like the official city map you hand over, saying here's everything important just so you don't miss anything.
Makes sense. So it's like an efficiency thing, especially if you've got thousands of pages.
Exactly. But I think maybe the most important thing for listeners here is managing expectations on timing.
Ah, yes. If I go and do all this great stuff this week, fix my links, maybe submit a sitemap, when do I see the results? Tomorrow, next week.
Yeah, this is often the shocker for people new to SEO. Patience is key. Seriously. Changes can take, anywhere from a few hours for maybe a tiny fix, up to several months to fully show up in search results.
Months? Wow.
Yeah. Generally, you probably want to wait a few weeks at least before you can really assess if what you did had a real positive impact. It's a long-term game, definitely not instant.
Okay, a long-term investment. Got it. So let's unpack pillar one then, content strategies. This feels like where most people focus their energy, right?
It is, and the sources couldn't be clearer on this. Creating content that people genuinely find useful, compelling. That's likely going to influence your search presence more than anything else you do.
More than any technical tweak or keyword trick.
Way more. This is the user-first principle in action, and we need to go beyond just saying, write good stuff. High-quality content now, it's really tied to trust.
Trust. Interesting word for an algorithm.
Yeah.
How does a bot determine if content is trustworthy or high quality?
It looks for signals. We can sort of break down high quality into a few key things. First, uniqueness. Meaning you actually created it yourself. Don't just copy-paste from other sites or, slightly reword what's already out there. That's not going to cut it.
Right. Original work.
Original work. But deeper than that is reliability. Modern search, it's all about giving people helpful, reliable, people-first answers.
It sounds like it ties into that EEAT idea, right? Expertise, experience, authoritativeness, trustworthiness.
Exactly. That's the framework. And how do you signal that? Well, you demonstrate it.
Wow.
By providing content from actual experts or people with real experience. Maybe that's clear author bios, citing your sources, providing references if you're writing about, say, medical stuff.
Yeah, critical.
The search engine needs signals that a qualified person wrote it. It doesn't want to show potentially harmful advice.
That feels like a massive shift from old school SEO, which was just keywords, keywords, keywords.
Huge shift. Then you've got accessibility aspects, readability and timeliness.
Okay.
Your content needs to be well written, obviously, but also easy to follow. Organized. Use headings properly, break up long blocks of text, let people scan and find what they need fast.
And timeliness. Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh. Check your content regularly. Update it if needed. Or, honestly, delete it if it's just not relevant anymore.
Sure.
An outdated page from 2015 isn't very helpful, is it?
No, definitely not. We also need to talk about the user experience on the page itself. The sources mentioned avoiding distracting stuff. Like, if my page is plastered with giant ads that pop up everywhere.
Yeah, that's a big negative signal. If users can't even get to the main content easily because of some aggressive ad or interstitial,
Right.
that tells the search engine the page cares more about clicks or revenue than the user, and that can hurt your standing.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly within content. Thinking about search terms. If Google's systems are so smart now, understanding language, why do I still need to worry about the exact words people type in?
Because you need to write for intent. Yes, Google understands related concepts, synonyms, all that. It's sophisticated.
Right.
But you still need to consider how different people search. Think about a beginner versus an expert looking for information on the same topic.
Right. So like my food blog example, someone new to making appetizer platters might search easy, fancy cheese board ideas.
Yeah.
But a foodie might search for French charcuterie assembly techniques. They're related, but the language and intent are different.
Precisely. And you need to serve those different intents. Maybe you write different articles. Maybe you structure one article really well to cover both. Thinking that way helps your content be seen as the best answer for more searches.
Got it. But this doesn't mean keyword stuffing.
Oh, absolutely not. Avoid keyword stuffing like the plague.
That old trick of just repeating the same word over and over again.
It's terrible for users, makes the text unreadable, and it's straight up against spam policies. Modern search engines are way too smart for that anyway. It just doesn't work and will likely harm your site.
Okay, clear warning there. Let's loop back to links quickly, but think about them within our content. We know they help discovery, but how should we link out?
Responsibly. First rule, use good link text. That's the clickable text, the anchor text.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to clearly tell the user in Google what the page you're linking to is about. Avoid generic stuff like click here or read more. Be descriptive.
Use the topic of the linked page as the text.
Ideally, yes. Or
Okay.
something very close. And what about linking out to other websites?
Yeah. Should I be worried about linking externally, even if it's a good source I'm citing?
You should definitely make sure you trust the sites you link to. That matters. But even more critical, if you have to link to something you don't necessarily vouch for, maybe user comments or ads.
Great stuff you can't control.
You absolutely need to use a nofollow attribute or something similar like UGSI or sponsor.
Okay, explain nofollow. What does that technically tell Google?
It's like putting up a little sign. It tells the search engine, hey, I'm linking to this page, but I'm not passing along my site's reputation or link equity to it. I don't necessarily endorse this.
So it protects your own site's reputation.
Exactly. It prevents you from being negatively associated with potentially low quality or untrusted sites you might link to for various reasons. It manages that trust signal.
Okay, that makes sense. 2, now, this is where it gets maybe a bit more technical, but really interesting. Pillar 2, technical foundations.
Mm-hmm.
We could have the best content ever written, super trustworthy, But if the search engine literally can't read the page properly, it's all for nothing.
Absolutely. Crawlability is fundamental, non-negotiable. The main thing here is ensuring Google sees your page the same way a typical user does.
What do you mean? How could it see it differently?
Well, a common issue is accidentally blocking essential resources. Developers sometimes do this without realizing the SEO impact.
What kind of resources?
Mostly things like CSS, the code that styles the page, makes it look right, and JavaScript, which often handles interactive elements or even loading content.
Right.
If Googlebot can't access the CSS or run critical JavaScript, it might just see a mess of unstyled text, or worse, a nearly blank page. It won't understand the structure or find the main content.
So you need to let the bot see everything a user sees.
Pretty much. You need to grant access so they can fully render the page, just like a browser does.
Okay, this sounds like where tools come in handy.
Definitely. First stop for anyone serious about this, get your site set up in Google Search Console. It's free, it's essential.
And within Search Console.
Use the URL inspection tool. You put in a URL from your site, and it literally shows you how Googlebot sees it, how it's rendered, and flags any resources it couldn't load. It's invaluable for debugging.
So that tells you if Google can see the page correctly.
Yes. And Search Console is also where you manage things like telling Google not to index certain pages, maybe private areas, test pages, that page about your embarrassing high school haircut you accidentally uploaded.
Right, you can opt out.
You can opt out properly there.
Okay, let's talk site structure. How does organizing the site itself help?
It helps both users and search engines navigate and understand context. It starts with simple things, like descriptive URLs.
Like we talked about with link text.
Similar idea. Your URLs should ideally contain words that make sense, like serviceswebdesign.html instead of PID123.
Why does that matter?
Because sometimes those clean URLs or parts of them show up in search results as breadcrumbs. They help users immediately see where they are on your site. Petscats is clearer than category 34 sub 9.
Makes sense. What about for really big sites,
Yeah.
like thousands or millions of pages, e-commerce stores maybe?
Yeah, for huge sites, directory grouping becomes really important for efficiency.
Grouping things into folders.
Exactly. Putting similar topics together in logical directories, like all your company policies under policies, all your blog posts under blog, helps Google understand those sections. It can even learn how often different sections change.
So it might crawl the blog section more often than the policy section if the blog updates daily?
Precisely. It helps Google allocate its crawling resources more efficiently, which is good for everyone.
Okay, one technical issue that always seems to confuse people. Duplicate content.
Big one.
If I have the exact same article accessible at, say, mysite.com article, A and D, mysite.com for .com article, is Google going to slap me for spam?
Probably not a spam penalty, no, but it's definitely not good. It's inefficient.
Why inefficient?
Because Google has to crawl both pages using up resources. And from a ranking perspective, any positive signals like links pointing to that content get split between the two URLs. You're diluting your own authority.
Right. And it's confusing for users too.
Very. They might land on one version, someone else links to the other. It's messy.
So what's the fix? How do you tell Google which one is the real one?
The goal is to have each piece of unique content live at just one single URL. That's the ideal. If you must have multiple URLs showing the same content, maybe for tracking parameters or different site sections, then you need to use redirects, like a 301 redirect, to send users and bots from the duplicates to the main one, or use the rel canonical link element.
Okay, break down rel canonical. What does that tag do?
It's a tag you put in the HTML head section of the duplicate page. It basically says, hey Google, I know you found this content here at this URL, but the real master version lives over at this other URL. Please consolidate all ranking signals there.
So it points Google to the preferred version.
Exactly. It cleans things up without needing redirects sometimes. Crucial for technical health, especially on complex sites.
Got it. Okay, last technical bit. How our page actually looks in the search results, the part people click on.
Right, the title link and the snippet.
The title link, that's the main blue headline.
Yes. And it's super important. It needs to be unique for every page, clear, concise, and accurately tell the user what the page is about.
Where does Google get that text from?
Primarily from the title tag in your HTML head. That's the most direct signal. But it might also look at other prominent headings on the page, like your main H1 heading.
So make your title tag good.
Make it really good and unique per page. And then there's the snippet, the little description underneath.
Where does that come from? Does Google just grab random text?
It sources it from the page's content, trying to find text relevant to the user's search query. but you can strongly influence it with the meta description tag.
The meta description. Does that help ranking directly?
Not directly for ranking, no. Google has said that. But a well-written meta description acts like ad copy. It convinces the user to click your result instead of someone else's.
So it affects click-through rate.
Massively. And click-through rate is a user signal. So indirectly, yes, a good meta description is very important. Make it short, unique to the page, and highlight key points.
Okay. And one quick bonus before we move on. Images and videos. How do they fit into this technical picture?
They need context, too. Use good quality, sharp images, obviously. Place them near the text they relate to.
Mm-hmm.
But the key technical bit for images is alt text, descriptive alt text.
That's the text for screen readers, for visually impaired users.
Yes, primarily. But it's also how search engines understand what the image is about and how it relates to the rest of your content. Don't skip alt text. Same for videos. Use descriptive titles, maybe transcripts. Place them near relevant text.
Got it. Context is key. Okay, so what does this all really mean? We've covered a lot of do's. Let's flip it. What are the things people waste time on? The myths.
Yeah, let's do some myth busting. It's important to know what not to focus on so you can spend your energy wisely.
Okay, first up, meta keywords. That old tag where you list keywords you want to rank for. Does Google use it?
Nope, absolutely not. Google confirmed years ago they ignore the keywords meta tag completely for ranking. Adding them does nothing. Zero effect.
Don't waste your time. Okay, myth 2. We touched on it, but let's hammer it home. Keyword stuffing.
Still see people trying it. As we said, it's bad for users, it's against spam policies, and Google's language understanding is way beyond needing exact keyword matches repeated endlessly, just right naturally.
Okay. What about keywords in the domain name itself or in the URL path? Does having bestcheap-widgets.com actually help you rank for best cheap widgets?
Not really anymore. Maybe years ago it had a tiny effect, but now hardly any impact on ranking itself.
Really?
Yeah. The words might show up in breadcrumbs, like we discussed, which can be slightly helpful for users.
Right.
But choosing a domain or URL structure just for keywords. Focus on your brand, what makes sense for the business. It's not a ranking factor worth chasing.
Good to know. Saves people a lot of money and hassle trying to buy keyword domains. And finally, the big one, content length. Is there a magic word count? Do I need 2,000 words to rank?
No, definitely no magic word count. Length alone means nothing for ranking.
So a short 500-word article could potentially outrank a 3,000-word one.
Absolutely, if it answers the user's query better, more concisely, and more authoritatively. What matters is covering the topic well and naturally using varied language. That increases your chances of matching different searches. Focus on quality and completeness for the user, not an arbitrary length.
Okay, that clears up a lot. So wrapping this deep dive up, it really feels like SEO success today boils down to two core things working together.
Mm-hmm.
One, creating a fantastic, trustworthy, user-focused experience with your content. And two, making sure the technical side is smooth so search engines can actually access and understand that great content efficiently.
That's pretty much it. Make it easy for people, make it easy for the bots. They often want the same things.
Yeah.
Clarity, relevance, trustworthiness.
Simple in concept, maybe harder in execution.
Can be. And that brings us to maybe the final thought, something for you to really mull over.
Okay.
Because every single change you make, every improvement, it takes time to register. We said weeks, sometimes months.
Right, the patience factor.
Exactly. SEO is fundamentally about patience, consistency, and iterating over time. It's not about quick fixes or instant gratification. If you're looking for that, you're probably going to be disappointed.
So the takeaway is start now, be consistent, and track your progress.
Yes. Start now by getting that technical foundation right. And the absolute best first step for that journey, get your site verified in Search Console and start looking at the data. That's your starting point.
Ready to take your online business to the next level? Subscribe to our digital marketing podcast and then join our Accountability for Success Mastermind. With expert advice from industry leaders, you'll gain knowledge and insights that will help you succeed in today's digital marketing world. From social media strategies to search engine optimization, we have all the tools you need. Learn from successful entrepreneurs and take control of your online success. Join the Accountability for Success Mastermind now at bit.ly/AFSM podcast.